everybody. Welcome into the Fort Worth Christian Coaches Show. As always, brought to you by our great friends with Aspire Chiropractic. I'm joined this morning by the head volleyball coach of the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals and district champion. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Hey, when we talked earlier this summer, you were very new to the job. And
I was very new.
You didn't
Fresh
really know.
off the presses.
Yeah, you didn't really know what you had.
I don't know if I even knew all the girls' names then.
Right.
So.
So tell me the message you talked to the team that obviously resonated and then carried this team through all the way through a district title.
Yeah, one of those big program goals, kind of no matter where I've been, is always about giving your best effort and attitude, because those are the things that you control at the end of the day. And we every single time we could do a drill or paint that imagery, we were doing it as a coaching staff. And so I feel like we carry that on all the way to the end. Early on there, somewhere between all those different tournament plays, we started talking about season goals and kind of what were they wanting for themselves, and because I always tell them they're the ones doing the work. So what are your goals here? And early on during that tournament season, they told me that they wanted to go and play at regionals, and that was the goal. And so being that we got there and we were playing at regionals, I feel like we did accomplish the season goal over that. But that was all built on a huge team effort, especially there late. Together, everyone to choose more. We had so many different adversities during the course of the season with some injuries and people going down, and some were season ending, including a couple of our seniors as well. And so I was just very happy to see them continue to fight, do a team effort, and always give their best effort and attitude through the end.
Fantastic. Yeah. You had a ton of kids with all district and second team all district and honorable mention. I can't recall a volleyball team that had so many mentions.
Right.
And apologize for former players that I may have missed, but we just had so many guys on this team this year that made such a huge difference.
Yeah, and when you get first in district, you kind of really give it a nod to a lot more of your kids. And we had 3 individual award winners as well. Our sophomore, Miss Addison Badley, which is fun to think she's got 2 more years left, being co-MVP and named first team.
Wow.
Our setter, Avery, she, fiery little redhead, love her to death. A junior, again, another year with her, and she would have been probably named setter of the year too, but couldn't have 2 awards, and so she got named the newcomer of the year, which I think is a really special honor. And then our other senior, Haley Garcia, being named the co-offensive player of the year. And to add into our defensive player, I don't know if I mentioned her much the first time we did this show, but Elise Brown, our defense was just solidified it on the back of her. She was first team as well, and so then all the different second teams. It was just such a fun year to just put this group together and have them be recognized there at the end. You always feel good as a coach whenever your kids get the nod at the end of the year. So.
Yeah. Well, how does your experience? I mean, you coached at very high levels, and I think the experience that you brought into the program really gave it an opportunity to improve relatively quickly.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. It was always trying to see how quick they can learn. The key concepts with it, and just kind of adapting down. After we lost in our regional game and we're all in the locker room crying and all that type of fun stuff, everyone's going around, and our seniors got to talk there for the very last time. And one of our seniors, Hannah Stewart, she's like, well, coaches, we got to talk about you too. And so she talked about with Coach Donzie and Coach Sarah, and she gets to me and she goes, sister. That's one of the funny terms she would say sometimes. The lineups that you brought into here were just kind of crazy sometimes, but they worked, and just your knowledge of the game is just amazing, and that made me feel so good, and the resonating part of that, they all loved to play volleyball again, and they were excited to come to the gym and to learn something new all the way up through the end, and so that was what I was so happy about. I was always trying to be like, man, I hope I'm not going too far over their head with all this stuff that I'm trying to give them.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Well, obviously not. I mean, we made that team climb the ladder this year.
It was
so
fun.
Fantastic. So as we, close out this season, which was tremendously successful, you never thought in your wildest dreams that knowing a team 1 week before the season that you'd wind up in a regional.
32-12 with a district title, and first of all, I've never played that many matches in a short period of time to start with. So yeah, I'm sitting here smiling ear to ear because of what a great season it was.
So how do we build on this? Where are we thinking next year?
Oh man, I think it's going to be a battle to replace all that senior leadership at different spots. But we had a great crop of juniors that were part of our lineup. We had some sophomores in there too. A couple of them got named honorable mention, and so I think it's just about building upon that and keeping them focused. You know, it's all about developing a program, even when they move on into other sports and they are developing in other ways. You know, they're still part of the volleyball family, and in the spring we can get on the court and get some of those other freshmen to kind of come up through. So it's building a program is one step at a time, and my messages to them is they were so happy to get to that point, and I want them to really enjoy that accomplishment, and for the returners to remember that, so that we could be this time next year on this Thursday getting on a bus headed to state.
Right.
You know, and so, but again, that's got to be their dreams, and my job as a coach is just to kind of steer the ship and let them do the row and do the work.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Coach, congratulations on
Appreciate
a
it.
fantastic
Thanks for
year.
having me on.
We're looking forward to next year and
Yeah.
years to come as we build this program. If you hadn't had time to make it out to a Cardinal volleyball match, you need to make time next year. Always in the Cardinal gym. Very loud experience and a great fan atmosphere. So guys, until next time, go Cardinals.